Hi guys, and thank you so much for joining me. If you are new to my channel, I'm Kat and I like to talk about true crime, conspiracies and all sorts of related things. Today's case, it's a really strange one, but before we get started, just a quick disclaimer. I don't mean to be disrespectful to anyone I talk about in today's video. This is for educational purposes only. All the information I'm giving you is already found in the public domain. Thank you so much. So let's get right into it. Kristy Lynn Felkins, 37 years old, currently from Fallon, Nevada, pleaded guilty on Thursday, 17th of March, to the use of commerce facilities in the commission of murder for hire. According to court documents, Kristy, a mother of three, confessed to reaching out to a hitman website called Besa Mafia. She did that to have her ex-husband killed. Besa Mafia functioned on the Tor Network as a hidden service. The Tor Network is an anonymizing, secure, and encrypted protocol that provides privacy for communication and data on the web, also known as the dark web. The couple had been married in 2004 in Butte County, Northern California. Kristy lived in Orlando until she moved to Nevada last December. She moved around California before that and lived with her then husband in North California during the course of the marriage. Between February and May 2016, she communicated regularly with the site's administrator to discuss payment and to organize the assassination of her former husband. The criminal complaint filed in the case alleges that Kristy Felkins paid a dark web administrator 12 Bitcoin to arrange for a hitman to murder her ex-husband. That amounted to $5,000 in early 2016 when she made the payment. The value of 12 Bitcoin is now near $500,000. According to the complaint, the dark web administrator she opted to contact for her murder for hire needs was just a scam artist who ultimately took her money without performing the service he promised the single mom. She then found herself in legal trouble when she was exposed by a person convicted of possessing underage explicit material who used the program to scrape messages between the site's administrator and its users. This individual then gave law enforcement the names of people who paid to have violent or criminal acts carried out by tracing their Bitcoin payments. This person was not acting on behalf of the government when they discovered and sent this information to members of the Northern California Illicit Digital Economy (NCIDE) task force. That could be partly because the individual who first flagged the allegations against Kristy Felkins resided in a foreign country and was convicted of a crime in that country related to his possession of underage explicit material. It could also very well be that this individual had some kind of a deal with authorities and maybe he received a lesser sentence if he would give out names. Maybe they took advantage of his knowledge of the dark web and how to collect information from there. And even though we tend to believe that you can't be tracked on the dark web, that's not exactly true. There are a high number of potentially privacy-busting connections between the dark web and the regular web. Iskander Sanchez Rola at the University of Deusto, Spain, led the investigation into the Tor Network, a dark web network that uses encryption to conceal users' identity. The group found close links between the dark web and the surface web. More than 20% of the 1.5 million dark web pages they analyzed imported resources like pictures, documents, and JavaScript files from surface websites. This raises potential privacy concerns, as owners of these resources can track when they are loaded by a user, giving them a window into the hidden domain. For example, Google could monitor traffic to 13% of the domains in the study's dataset this way. They also found tracking scripts designed to analyze users' browsing behavior on 27% of the hidden pages they looked at. Nearly a third of these originated from the surface web, and 43% of those were from Google. If a dark web service uses the same script as a site on the surface web, anyone using it could start tracking a user's activity and potentially identify them when they visit less private sites. Those using Tor proxies, which are services on the surface web that act as gateways to the dark web, like the popular Tor2 web, are most at risk. These services can already see users' IP addresses, but the links between the dark web and surface web means that third parties could also access the information. If a user opens a dark web page that features a surface web resource through a proxy, their browser fetches this resource in the normal way, bypassing the anonymization network. Using the Tor browser to access the dark web offers better privacy protection. It's also better at protecting against web tracking, but only if users switch on script blocking, which can cause sites to malfunction. This research has demonstrated for the first time how much of the dark web is intrinsically linked to the surface or clear web, says security researcher Sarah Jamie Lewis. Her Onion Scan tool, which probes dark web services for vulnerabilities, has found security issues that can de-anonymize up to 35% of dark web servers, but she says there has been little action from site operators. So basically, this is what that person did. He scraped messages using a script, and that's how Kristy was identified. She first reached out to the administrator of the site, Besa Mafia, in February 2016, as a legitimate platform offering a variety of services, including murder, kidnapping, and assault in exchange for cryptocurrency payments. For the next 4 months, she regularly communicated with the site administrator to pay and arrange for the murder of her ex-husband. Soon after sending just over 12 Bitcoin to the administrator of Besa Mafia, she provided the home address of her ex-husband and other information such as the time he left for work, vehicle information, and locations at which her ex could be located. As time went on, she would give more specific details such as her ex-husband's home address, the airport he would be flying out of, and eventually the exact time and location of a Starbucks he would be visiting while in Chico, California. At one point, Kristy even said she didn't mind if her ex's girlfriend was with him when it happened. In Kristy's communications with Besa Mafia, she even explained why she wants to have her husband killed. I do stand to get money from this, but that isn't the reason behind my motivation. This man mentally, physically, and emotionally abused me. I ran, then he took my children away from me. He now mentally abuses my children and threatens their physical well-being. He is quite the snake and master manipulator. I know I can get that 4,000 in 4 to 5 weeks. And right now, the children are visiting grandparents, so they aren't at risk of witnessing or possibly being involved. They are safe and comfortable. My family and friends are not people to have a lot of money, and I have already borrowed from them all they can give, trying to settle things with him legally with lawyers. The money I have already sent to you was the last I had to pay the lawyers for the next battle we are up against. My bank accounts are bare from running, relocating, starting over, and lawyers. Not to mention I stand to get his retirement, our house, and possibly a large life insurance payout. So this woman spent her last money for the lawyers in paying the murder for hire. She obviously believed this whole thing will happen, otherwise she wouldn't have risked the last of her money for legal proceedings. The administrator of the website continued to ask for more money without delivering on his initial promise. By April, communications stopped between her and the Besa Mafia website. The task force received information in 2019 that an individual using the profile name KBGMKN had been arranging for the murder of a man residing in Durham, North Carolina. Members of the NCIDE task force confirmed her identity after they matched the phone number used to purchase the Bitcoin with her phone number, and her IP address was the same as the last IP address to access the Bitcoin account used to pay Besa Mafia. A stipulation signed by Kristy Felkins' attorney as part of her plea deal with federal prosecutors states, Felkins admits that she used the internet, a facility in interstate and foreign commerce, to hire someone to murder her ex-husband. She further admits that she communicated with a representative of the group calling itself Besa Mafia with the intent of causing the murder of her ex-husband. Felkins also admits that she sent a representative approximately 12 Bitcoin in exchange for the act of murdering her ex-husband. Felkins is scheduled to be sentenced by U.S. District Judge Troy L. Nunley on June 16, 2022. She faces a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison. Nevertheless, the actual sentence will be decided and based on the discretion of the court. Relevant factors and the federal sentencing guidelines, which consider several aspects, will be taken into account during sentencing. I mean, I don't know, whatever happened to divorce, separation, moving out and forgetting about your ex? No? We don't practice that anymore? I would tell you one thing though. Me, personally, I would never waste my Bitcoins on a murder for hire. No way! Imagine those money. So many people nowadays are trying really hard to get a Bitcoin, especially now that they are worth so much. And they can't. And she paid 12 Bitcoins, which would have been $500,000 now. Wow, I mean, I'm sure that she believed this will solve the problem. But a problem like this is hardly solved this way. I know where she's coming from though. If he was really abusive to her, most of the times this is the only way out, and we know that. Kids were also in the middle of it. She was trying to fight in court for the kids and she didn't get anywhere. Desperate times, desperate measures. But surely there must be another way. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Please let me know what do you think about this case in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whichever way you prefer. Either way, it's free, it doesn't cost you anything, and it really helps me and my channel out. Also, if you want to buy me a coffee, I'm leaving the link for it on your screen, and it will also be in the description section below the video. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please take care and stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!